What's happening, beautiful people? My name is Dirty Mike and welcome to the dribbling / advanced dribbling skill challenge tutorial on Legendary as always. And I want to use these skill games to kind of break down some of the basics, talk about reaching that score as well as some of the new dribbling implications before I got into more advanced tutorials. If you enjoyed the content, smash that like button, pass it around the community, show your friends. If you need to get cheap and instant Ultimate Team coins, just FIFA coins, down below in the description. Use the code DIRTY for 5% off, and wait just a second if you need games, if you need codes. We got G2A, Dirty also works over there. Everything's down below. Let's roll. To kickstart the FIFA goodness, we've got the standard dribbling skill challenge, and this is more about a few different skill moves and taking on the keeper. And in this freeze frame, you're holding forward on the left analog and you're going to tap X ever so softly. This is a key attribute to succeeding in this drill. You will not be able to reach the top score without having that in your back pocket. And what it does is it's going to either give you a Rabona cross or a little flip up cross and get you a lot of bonus points, extra points for being fancy, and you need them. You're going to need all of those in order to complete this drill. And the three skill moves we got to focus on is the ball roll, the body feint, and the fake shot. And as you can see in this freeze frame, whenever you see that keeper move, and this applies to real matches, online, offline, does not matter. It's time to either do the ball roll, the body feint, the fake shot, and you can walk it right around him. And in this drill, that's a key to success because of the additional points you can get if you're able to go ahead and use the fancy chip, or even if you do a skill move into the back of the net, you can get additional points that way. But you need those points. And at the final portion of the regular skill dribbling challenge, whatever you guys want to call it, it's more about keeping one of the defenders on your hip, and you get a lot of practice of how to shake off a double team. When you're playing in a real match, a lot of people just hold the double team button. They're trying to constantly pressure you, and I would always recommend passing out of those situations. However, sometimes you've got to be able to shake one of the defenders, and this is the best practice you're going to get in terms of just wiggling back and forth, getting some points, and starting to rack up a nice score. And something I want to note about using that manual cross, if you're on the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 4, instead of using your X, you're going to be using square. So keep that in mind if you're on another platform. And then the second portion of this video is going to be talking about the advanced dribbling, and that talks more about dealing with the pace control, how to stop the ball quickly, how to sprint. It's not as much about the skill moves, but rather all the other intangibles that are just gonna be things you have to have in your gameplay. Especially this year, EA has made some big changes to a couple of the skill dribbles, and if you're not using them, you're really getting left behind, and it's gonna hinder your gameplay, especially if you're using small players. Someone like Messi this year can be all over the place, all over the pitch, scoring goals left, right, and center, but you have to have the skill dribble down packed. It's not even about all the skill moves with Messi. It's more so about being able to explode and kind of find your space. So we're getting into the advanced dribbling, and it starts out very simple. You're just sprinting all across the pitch. There's only one little area you need to note. As we come to the freeze frame, you want to avoid hitting that target. You can use a knock-on with the right analog, or you can just make sure you ball roll and shoot off. It doesn't matter if you knock it over, you just can't hit it. If you hit that dummy, you're going to lose some points. And in the second portion, what I'm trying to show you guys is the pause once you get through there. You never have to change your pace, but then hold on, and you stop, and then you're just going to go straight through. I know it looks kind of weird. You might think you're going to bump into something, but you don't. Every time they run the exact same pattern on this drill. Then we have the shield command, which is definitely useful, and if you're trying to close out a game or even on the edge of the box, that works really well. And then the close dribble, which is one of the, unfortunately, one of the worst dribbles in this game. I've never used it in any real match where I felt that it was super effective. But I still wanted to note that that's how you've got to go through that portion of the drill. And now we're back to shielding. And shielding with L2 or LT, just depending on platform, is something that could definitely take your gameplay up a notch, especially if you're conceding goals at the end of matches. And then we're back to the pace control, which has been upgraded this year, and that's where you're almost jostling back and forth. It's almost a sloping motion, and you have full control. And that's with L2, R2, or if you're on the Xbox, it's LT, RT, and then you're just scoring the goal. You're just making it happen. And in order to complete this drill, it's all about making the least amount of mistakes. You don't have to necessarily go through it super fast, but you cannot make mistake after mistake because there's always a punishment. They always put a negative on your score. But I think both these are relatively simple if you follow the tutorial in order to get legendary status. And I love the skill games. It's one of the best ways to get some practice under your belt, especially if you haven't played FIFA 14 or 13 or 12. You're a little bit behind. You need to catch up. But as always, if you enjoyed the video, drop a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter and Facebook at DirtyMikeUSA, and I have a lot more content come for you ASAP.